Composing gloves here. Today we're taking a look at a free VST from ADC. It's called Transient. Let's start off with a drum example. So I have some drums here. We'll go ahead, we'll toss it on there. It is a transient shaper. So we can bring up the attack of the drums. We can bring up the release of the drums. And we can control the timing window this happens in. Now with these kinds of dynamic processing plugins, and it's completely free. This is crazy. One of my favorite free plugins. I wanted to do a video on it. With these sorts of plugins, you're definitely going to want to be aware of your gain staging. So the amount we push up is going to push it into this clipping window. And we have a hardness on how hard we clip. So for example, if we push it really hard into clipping on, say, the attack, we can control sort of how harsh it is. Here, you can't hear it that great, and that's because we really need to gain stage this. So we're gonna get a lot more out of it. You can double click to reset value, by the way, by just bringing the gain down on the input. This means that we have more room to push stuff up or down that we would like to push up or down. So for example, now that it's a bit softer, we've got a lot more room to play with here. Just bring this down a bit. I could bring the attack up more. You can see how much the attack gets boosted here. You could also bring up the window that this happens in. We could remove the attack. Say we want to do something with the sustains. Maybe we bring the sustain part of the drums, the release part up. We can make it really short to give a huge pump sound. Or we could bring it up to get rid of the pump. Yeah, you do get stuff like that though with it. It doesn't have the best smoothing. Can bring our hardness down and really push it into the red. So some options here. We have some options. I wanted to show it on drums, but I actually like to toss these things more often on really funky tonal bass sound kinds of things with lots of layers. It allows you to automate them and bring out unique portions. So that's it on some drums. Obviously there's some applications you could do here. You can put something in parallel and get busy with it. But let's go ahead and go over to the bass. I'm going to go ahead and bring in the basses now. We have these basses. They sound like this. And later on, we have a Rickenbacker come in and join us. And I believe I don't actually have this in the bass bus. So we're just going to unsolo everything. So I am going to go ahead and bring in Transient. I already have one loaded up here. And let's just double click, put it back at all the defaults. Pretty loud. Maybe we bring it down some. So this has the synth bass sound on it. So let's try bringing the attack out. And we should hear the other basses sort of fill in. Like that. You can hear the Rickenbacker come right on through. Should emphasize this one. Maybe give it a huge pump by taking the release out. Maybe we bring the attack down and the release up. Now with this, you're gonna want to put it generally before if you have sounds that get soft slowly, such as a reverb tail, you heard what that can do. So you may want to adjust that by, putting it before the verb or waiting to put the verb after. One reason why you may, in the synthesizer, if you're using a preset, turn the verb off and put a verb after some of this dynamic processing so that you don't have some of these sort of ugly, distorted tails coming out of it. But that's Transient. It's a pretty straightforward plugin. Let's go ahead and pull it up in the database. So here it is in the database. It's by ADC, and it's pretty cool. I really like it. Let's see when it was released. It was released in 2019. Pretty cool. And this is the home site for it where you can get it. So I'm going to link to the database, and I have a link download on developer's site right here. They have a bunch of other free plugins as well, but you can sort of see just their signal flow, stuff like that, changes. I'm going to update the database a bit because there's some new fields that exist now in the table, such as version and size and stuff like that, that didn't exist when I first put it in. And you can also look for anything else by Audic. So if we look here, these are all by Audic. And they're all free. This is the free database after all. So pretty cool. Of the bunch, this one's definitely my favorite. Their delay is pretty neat as well. And I am a sucker for any kind of scope. They have a very basic vector scope that I think is pretty cool. Doesn't have a million features, but it does the basics. And I think that's pretty dope. So that's that. If you have any questions about this, feel free to let me know. Subscribe and hit that bell icon for future videos. And have a blessed day.